MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And welcome. I'm Scotty Ray along with Candace, and it's Wednesday.
It is.
I tried to get Candace to practice safe weather and wear a football helmet this morning, but she wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I should have, I guess. And had we been in Texas where they had grapefruit-sized hail, I probably would have had my football helmet on.
Now, I did get a picture this morning, and I thought it was really funny, and I probably ought to share it. I have to go back and find it, to where somebody had a very expensive car, and they took air mattresses and wrapped their car in it so it wouldn't get damaged from hail.
Really?
That's one way to protect yourself.
Yeah. I've never seen, I've heard of baseball-sized hail, but I've never heard of, it really even looked larger than a grapefruit.
If you watch, what's his name, the storm chaser Reed Timmer, Reed has been, his car, there's hardly nothing left of it. He was somewhere putting that spray seal stuff, trying to put it back together. Yeah. But they constantly get their cars beat with that stuff. But that will really hurt you.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you were out, like, say, stuck walking in it or something?
The pea-size hail wouldn't feel good.
Yeah, that wouldn't feel good at all.
And I can't imagine being on a motorcycle being caught in some hail. That would be...
Oh, gosh.
Think about that.
Right. Knock you out.
Yes, it would. So be careful out there. As we begin our Wednesday, we've got severe weather in the area. And let's talk about this a second. Yes, the Mississippi Delta area up the Mississippi River is forecasted for the absolute worst of the weather, a level 4. But please do not discount that as nothing going to happen here. We're at level 3s through most of the viewing area. That is serious business. That 5% which we are in is where a lot of tornadoes always happen. I can't guarantee one will happen, but I do want you to be aware that the conditions are favorable for that this afternoon into tonight after 6 o'clock. And don't go, well, nothing's going to happen. I see the red area is over by the Mississippi Delta. I'm good. That's not the way weather works. It's Mother Nature. As we saw the last 2 or 3 episodes of areas that wasn't even expected to get something got a tornado.
Yeah.
Now, let's pull this up as Candace looks for her helmet.
Can you still say Mother Nature? I don't know. Can you say that still?
Well, they did change that, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
We want to be politically correct.
I'm just thinking. Yeah.
What was that old song, Father Time? We'll have to change that also. As we look at this, now this is the Meridian area. Most of Kipper County, all of Noxubee, Winston, these areas here in Neshoba County are all under this level 3. This is Lauderdale County, kind of split.
Yeah.
You can have bad weather just as easy right here in Clark County as you can here. Now, don't take me wrong. This area here in the Mississippi Delta, following that Mississippi River, is going to be the worst of what's out there. But it does not mean in any shape, form, or fashion that our area cannot get a pop-up tornado.
Yeah.
We want you to just be weather-wise as we move into these hours. Now, let's pull this up and show you the timelines of what the National Weather Service are telling us to expect the weather tonight. And I got that hid somewhere right along in here. Sometimes I can't find my buttons. But here's the latest that we've got from the National Weather Service. Anytime after 6 p.m. Now, this line will most likely be right here at Forest. And it goes up, taking in all of Noxubee and most of Winston County and back east toward Alabama, is going to be a 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. timeline. If you live west of Forest back toward Vicksburg, it could start as early as 4 p.m. Now, do I think it will be exactly 6 p.m.? No. But 6:30, 7 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame. And they always give themselves a little cushion there to monitor things. But now, on top of this, we also could have flash flooding as we look back at this. A lot of rain, 2 to 3 inches at one time when it starts pouring down rain.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you heard it. What was it, 3 hours or so ago? We had a pretty good little shower come through.
We did, and some lightning and thunder up at our house. So I don't know if I guess it was around 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
So are you the type with the rain beating on the roof, it makes you want to just lay there and sleep?
If it's just rain, I'm fine with it, And I'm fine with a little thunder. It's the tornadoes, If it's tornado warnings or even tornado watches, that kind of makes me nervous.
I think we've all had that where the window is cracked at your curtain and it looks like daylight outside at 3 a.m. when the lightning is.
Oh, yeah.
Those are spooky times.
I guess it was last week that the lightning was so bad. It was just like the sky continuously was lighting up. I mean, just,
right.
You know, like we call it an electrical storm.
Yeah, they do call that.
Yeah.
Strong winds are also possible today. Let's look at this. As all of this, if you have a home with a tree, and we say this so many times, you think, I'm so tired of hearing that. But it's true. If you've got a tree that overhangs your home, don't stay in that room because it's going to be a lot of winds. Look at this. We've got here in the Meridian area, Philadelphia, included Winston, equipment, sustained winds of anywhere from 20 to 25 today. Gust will be between 30 and 40, which means tree limbs can snap and fall. Right up here in the Delta, it'll be a little bit worse. They'll elevate that to 40 to 45. But last night, as a matter of fact, we had a tree fall, the 2400 block of 51st Avenue. It fell on 2 homes.
Oh, goodness.
Fire department responded to that to take care of that. But that does happen. We don't want any of this. Then, as we all know by now, I think most people know this as you're waking up, that we had a tree fall, a building fall last night. And we go to the website. Let's pull this up. sammedia.network, if you haven't been here before. This is where we are. Let's look at this. This is the building that collapsed last night, a bird's eye view from early this morning.
You said this was around Hewlett's.
Yeah,
Downtown.
right front street is where this is, the 2500 block of downtown Meridian. As we pull it, let's show some more pictures of this also, and just skim me down as we look at this. Here's some pictures of the crews as they were arriving. That's what it looked like. Now, it's daylight now. We'll get some fresh pictures in just a little while to share these with you as we come across. But a dangerous situation. Anybody been parked anywhere near there? And it did get near a few cars, those bricks, all in the roadway. There's another angle. As soon as you see a car parked right there, you zoom in on that a little bit closer, you can see that. There's people that live in the downtown area.
Yeah.
Now, again, the building was being demolished. One wall has fallen into the street. Very dangerous. Power was out. Maybe Mississippi Power has got that restored by now. I'm not 100% sure on that. But 2 poles broke when that fell.
Goodness.
We got to watch all these old buildings.
Yeah, I mean, probably be a good idea if nobody could park at all around
Anything that looks old.
Anything that's being demoed.
Yeah.
You don't need to have people parking near it.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Want to remind you, this is still going on this week, and as we go to Highland Baptist Church, they are still doing the Holy Week lunches, and that begins at 11:45 each day. Today's Wednesday. What they got? Potato soup? Is that right?
Potato soup with crackers, sandwiches, and they're going to have speaker Scotty Cole, the Firehouse Church soloist Libby Davidson. So go join them for that.
Hope you'll get to enjoy some of that. That's a few of the things. We got a lot of Easter egg hunts coming up this weekend. Who did we say? We got a happy birthday about right here. We need to wish one to.
Patsy Gilbert says happy birthday to her son JT and daughter-in-law Tanya.
So they both got a birthday on the same day?
Goodness, that's neat.
Who gets who what?
I don't know. That'd be neat, though, but we hope y'all have a wonderful
birthday. That's as bad as having your birthday on Christmas, because you ain't going to get nothing.
Get one thing.
We had to put it together. We all know how that really works there.
Yeah.
Good morning. Wayne LaGrone is up today. Glad to see you, Wayne, there. Toon Suba is where they've got us tuned in there.
Good morning, Miss Lita Jo Horn and Jessica Davis. Good morning. Kathy McCarty's watching. Jean Hines. Patty Rickles is in Philadelphia watching this morning.
James Sullivan all the way from Carthage, Mississippi. Glad to see you there as well.
And then Laura Weiss says happy birthday to her husband, Brian T. Weiss. Happy birthday, Brian.
Yeah, I hope it's a big one there. Let's see, we had someone that bumped a manhole last night. You don't think of things like that, and it has to be somebody being took it up. That just doesn't happen. The city doesn't do that. Somebody come along and did that. I don't even know where manholes are. I never pay attention to that. But
they're everywhere, all over the place.
This happened 25th Street, 24th Avenue. If you don't think that won't damage a car, try one today. think everybody's going to be okay, but still, that would have to be a scary
So
situation.
did somebody take the lid off the
That's
manhole?
what I'm assuming. And again, I don't have a full report on that. But why else would it be open?
Yeah, that would be bad. Can you
Flop.
imagine walking?
Because you can hit a
Can you imagine somebody walking along cell phone?
flop.
Gone.
You've all seen the videos of that in malls where people are texting and fall in the
Fountains.
Yeah, the fountains.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word there.
Right. Yeah, that would be me. I can't do two things at one time. I can't walk and chew gum at, probably the same time, but I'm exaggerating, but,
Are you sure?
I'm not a multitasker. Let's put it that way.
Things like that do happen from time to time. Let's see. It was pretty much a quiet night. We did have some gunshots reported. Nothing major, nothing hurt last night around 24th Avenue also. So, now, wait a minute. Let me back up. I made a mistake on what I reported there. I got my lines confused there. 19th Avenue was the manhole, and gunshots were the 24th Avenue area.
Okay.
So let me correct myself.
Okay.
I don't need to be giving false information, do I?
No.
No, that's a no-no. We don't do things like that at all.
You get stoned.
I will. People come after you. You can't be doing that.
I know.
All right, now, it is Wednesday. We're midweek. We do hope your day is treating you extremely well. Stay close. We got more information on the way with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Mark your calendars for the Spring Extravaganza Show coming Saturday, April 23rd, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a brand new location at the old Office Max building at Bonita Lake Circle. From boutique clothes, shoes and accessories, children's clothing, spring plants, jewelry, gift items. Come shop and have lunch with Jack Sausage Dogs. The Spring Extravaganza Gift Show, Saturday, April the 23rd from 9 until 4 at the old Office Max building in Meridian. Call Becky at 601-480-1776.
As the winds blow today, and if your car happens to get a scratch, we'll see our friend Chet. Chet will take care of anything that deals with your car. All you got to do is call him at 737-2961. Come out. They'll give you a free estimate. You can even get your pictures to them. They'll look at that and let you know more about it. They'll help you with any type of issue that you have with your car. As I mentioned, from a little ding, there's a lot of folks that are really particular with their car. They don't want anything wrong with that. He can fix that, put it back, match that paint, whether it's front end damage, a side where you've been T-boned at a red light. That does happen occasionally. The front end work, one of the most common things that messes up your radiator. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rump row.
Had that
Somebody
happen.
backs into you.
A deer.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
done that too.
Yeah.
They do all of this stuff for you here at Chet's Paint and Body. This is the paint booth where they take it in. It's not going to have dust in it. It's sealed. It's great. Makes your car look wonderful. See them today. Honesty, that's what it's all about at Chet's Paint and Body. When it comes time to have something done to your car, talk to who the people depend upon. That's Chet's Paint and Body, 737-2961. Insurance welcome. Look at there. Mm-hmm. Dressed in black today.
I am.
Is that a sign that it's bad weather?
Yeah, this is my bad weather day.
I'm going to remember that.
Yeah. Now I'm just want to be comfortable.
There's nothing
I have
wrong
to go to
with
work after this.
comfy. You got a little haircut today, I take
Yeah,
it.
I do.
This is a lot of parents. We go to Jones County. I mentioned this earlier. I don't even know if you're aware of this story yet before we go into this. There's a lot of parents that don't want their kids riding school buses. Now, again, this is Jones County, not here.
Yeah.
This is beyond despicable what happened to the 7th grader. He was attacked by 4 other students on there.
Yeah.
Beat up, and they, I don't know how to even word what went on, but they, what am I looking for here?
Assaulted him.
Yes, that's the word. And we've got the story posted on our page. And, of course, they've got cameras in buses now, but at the very rear of the bus, and you've got people standing around
Right.
it, the driver can't see what's going on. There's going to be charges filed on this because it was so bad.
Now, how old was it was a 7th grader.
7th
assaulted,
grader.
But there was more than one.
14 to 17 years old.
Okay.
17-year-old could be charged as an adult on this case.
I feel for the bus drivers because they're trying to drive the bus safely, and all these kids are supposedly supposed to be sitting down and acting right, but that's never always the case,
Right.
And so but I can sympathize with the. I had an issue one time when one of my kids was being kind of like bullied on the bus, and I had to go meet the bus at the end of the driveway, but have a talk with the principal and stuff like that. But I then my kids didn't ride the bus after that.
And there's a lot of parents who agree with that. Let's see here. Donna Thompson says that she lives in Jones County. That's where all this happened. Denise read the article. It is something to read. I can't even fathom a thought like that.
Yeah. Somebody said, where was the bus driver while this was taking place? I mean, like I said, I've seen many times when I was riding the bus driver would have to pull over and park the bus and get up and address everybody acting crazy. It was loud too.
And we don't know what kind of road. It could have been a 2-lane road, and they can't stop the bus quick enough.
What I don't agree with a lot of times now, if the elementary and a high school school is not separate, they don't have separate buses. To me, it's bad when you have all those children. Ages together,
And that's what the case sounds like here, from 14 to 17, attacking a 7th grader.
Right.
How old are you in 7th grade now?
Gosh,
12?
13 maybe. Is that right? 13 maybe?
It's been so long ago, I can't remember.
But yeah, I feel for the parents.
Yeah,
that's an awful situation.
And again, I know that they do have buses monitored now with cameras, but you can't catch it all. That's a bad situation there. So you have to think about the parents and things that are going to go on with this. It's going to get sticky.
The ones that were doing all this mess need to be put completely off the bus, and their parents need to take them, or expelled.
Denise says a 7th grader is somewhere between 12 and 13, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So now I'm up to date on all that. So that's the big news from the area. We did see where a comedian died yesterday, and he had that little. His voice was so. Was it kind of like the nanny? How her voice was so shrill.
But he sounded angry. Everything he said, he yelled, and
He did.
But he had a heart condition, I think, is what I read.
Right.
So.
So there you go. He was the. I didn't know
years
that
old.
he was the Aflac duck.
I didn't know that either.
So now I know.
I know he was on. Was it one of the Aladdin or something? Maybe one of the Disney movies.
Possible.
He was the voice for that. One of the characters.
So he passed away with that. Only 67. That's not old at all. So Gilbert. A lot of that has gone on.
It has.
The news across America today is what went on yesterday in New York City. This guy pulls out an axe. He had a duffel bag full of terror. No way to word it. He'd rented a U-Haul van. They were looking for him. And what was the wording that was sent out just a moment ago? Let me see. They've upgraded this from the words of person of interest to now a suspect.
Right. Because they had so much. It was just almost real sloppy to me. You would think somebody who was going to do all that. It was just, the cameras weren't working in that area and 2 other areas, from what I understand, in the subway. He dropped his credit card. The credit card had been used to purchase or to rent a U-Haul.
Right.
The U-Haul people were contacted and traced it back to him. I mean, it was just kind of
sloppy.
It was almost like, not that it was set up or anything, but it's just crazy to me that. Plus, he had on a orange, like fluorescent orange
Can't
jacket,
miss him.
Fluorescent green hoodie. They said.
So is this type person that wants to be caught?
Right. It's just kind of odd to me, but I'm glad nobody was killed. Because they say that there were injured, but nobody had passed away from it.
29 injured, 10 shot.
Right.
Gas? I mean, come on.
He threw smoke bombs,
You're prepared for what's coming if you do that.
Right. Lit smoke bombs, threw smoke bombs. Then they found the duffel bag that had all these other smoke bombs, an axe. He had pulled an axe out first or a hatchet or an axe or whatever, and dropped it and then pulled the gun out and began firing the gun.
Now, Eric Adams has vowed to increase security on subway systems by 50%. Now, let's just do the math here. If you're already low on cops, where are you going to get that extra 50%? If you put it there, you've got other areas now that are not going to be protected. Now, they do need it. Don't get me wrong. But there is a huge shortage in cities like this.
Why would the cameras not be working? That's what even if they were...
That's what Jeffrey says. Why weren't they working?
It's odd to me.
It is.
A little bit odd.
Crime is soaring there. As we look at other stories that are... the cops are offering a $50,000 fee if you turn this guy in. Leads to his arrest.
They also said that his social media sites were had a lot of disturbing things.
Oh, yeah. Very racist rants and what he wanted to harm others was on there. And it's almost, people have to see these things on social media, people ranting like this. Do you report it? What are the laws on that? Because it is a heads up this person could do something.
Oh, yeah. I think if somebody is posting for the world to see a lot of hateful or racist or threatening stuff, they should be flagged. I mean, they should be, somebody should be notified.
The U-Haul van was found 5 miles, and I would show pictures, but it's from the scene as it happened, and it's pretty graphic, so we won't go there.
Right.
But, wow, it's what we've got to say there on all of that. We'll do that. I mentioned this earlier this morning of the football player, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was hit by a dump truck in the middle of the road. It was reported to 911 6 to 7 minutes before he was hit that he was walking in the middle of the road. I don't think they knew who he was. They just said there's a guy walking in the road. And then he would step in front of a dump truck, and it would all be over. Why? We don't know. There's a full investigation into this. Did it involve something else? Maybe, but we don't know. Was it a suicide mission? I don't know.
Yeah.
But crossing any road is not safe to begin with. Hopefully we'll know more about it before long. And this is, we turn to one of these sad stories. Have you read this about the little girl?
No, I did not.
She was playing in a stream, and she was swept away in North Carolina, and she went over a waterfall. She has been killed. Her parents tried desperately to get to her, and the current grabbed her.
Oh, my goodness.
So if you go to Smoky Mountains or any places like this, keep that in mind.
Look, I have walked out on rocks out in the middle of one of those streams or in the river or whatever they call it.
Now here's a picture of what she went over.
Yeah. The current in those, I mean, it will knock you down.
Yeah, because
it could knock you down. So don't even allow your child to ever go out there.
Not alone.
I mean, and even if you were with them, you could slip. The rocks are slimy.
Yeah, they are.
You can slip down on those rocks and be taken away. It's scary. It's just not worth it.
That just really, really has to be. This was in Pennsylvania.
That's awful, though. That's horrible.
Let's see. The family is from Pennsylvania. They were vacationing there in North Carolina.
I guess if you're not from areas where you know those facts about things like that,
right.
You know, you might just blindly allow your child to go out there and go, oh, let's get a cute picture, you know. But they should have signs, maybe. There's a lot of tourists that come from everywhere, so. And maybe they do have signs. You know?
And study a neighborhood before you go. It's just we've just seen so many different things as people start doing things again from these rides.
Yeah.
People getting hurt. Don't let your kid, be there. Watch if your kid is going to do a ride. If you're in the neighborhood, watch before they take off. Make sure that they're secure. Best I can tell you on that. That's been
And they always have, because I think yesterday was a small kid. I'm not saying a tiny child, but they have limits as to, like, you have to be this tall to be on this ride. And don't ever try to, skim past that, because there's a reason for it.
Yeah, you got to be this tall to ride this, or the weight limit.
Right, or even if they are tall enough, they might not weigh enough. They might be real thin and could, slide out easily or something. I don't know, just I wouldn't take a chance.
Because I remember Dylan as a kid. He was tall and skinny and probably didn't weigh 60 pounds up until he was in the 6th and 7th grade. That boy was skinny.
Yeah.
Charlene Etheridge, good morning. Glad you're watching us. We can't thank you enough. Lily Hampton, good morning from downtown DeKalb. Eddie White's up there. Common sense. Use it, is what Eddie says.
Diane Spears, good morning. Hope you're having a good morning. Pamela Williams, good morning. She says that the Gilbert.
Yeah,
Godfrey,
Gilbert.
He was the parrot on Aladdin. That's
Knew
who
that
he
little
was, the
squeaky
character.
voice was
Yeah.
somewhere. That's amazing. Did you hear about this guy in Mississippi that caught broke the record for the Mississippi River of a catfish? How do you pull in a 131-pound catfish?
Slowly.
That's got to be fighting you.
I bet he's tired.
You'd have
after
to be.
that. Gosh.
And that makes you want to go swim in that? I don't think so.
I want to know what kind of line he had on his rod.
What I want to do is video, what do they call that? Where you stick your arm down in it? Would you do that?
No.
Noodling.
It's called, noodling. No way. No way. We were on the river one time, I think Chunky River. There were people out there doing that. There's no way I'm going to stick my arm up in the side of a bank not knowing what's up in there.
Oh, me either.
I mean, that's just crazy.
It could be a snake, couldn't it?
I would think anything.
And if anybody's ever done it, please tell me what that feels
Yeah.
like when something. It's got to have that.
Well, it's probably your adrenaline. It's probably one of those rush things that people do just to, like jumping out of an airplane, or something. You're scared at first. The unknown. What are you going to pull out?
Yeah.
Probably a nub.
That's a good point there.
Pull your arm back out and it be half gone. Yeah, no, thank you.
As we look at things that are going on around the nation, people are asking where Bill is. They hadn't seen him back from his trip from Vegas. We'll have to find out what's going on in DeKalb. But as we look at people that are elected officials that do things for you, Hawaii, have you seen the story of the senator that, hadn't been there voting at all?
No.
Missed most of the time there. Fox News is reporting it this morning that still working as an airline pilot. You take the job and you're supposed to do it, but you're double dipping, I guess.
Yeah.
Sound like a midterm reelection.
Yeah.
That's happening in Hawaii, the beautiful land there of Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Most people, as we go back to this story we were talking about in New York, if you lived in New York, and I know it's hard to get around New York, what do you do when that's your only way to commute to work is that subway because you don't own a car because it's so busy?
Right.
What do you do for safety? Where do you turn? What do you do?
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is with that. And even if you do own a car, from what I understand, you have to pay in the hundreds of dollars per month to park your car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not free. It's not like somewhere like our area where you can just park on the street and
Pay
it's
the
free.
50 cents an
Right.
hour.
Right. Well, I mean, yesterday.
Uber.
Yeah.
But that would get expensive every day to catch an Uber to and from work. It'd
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
The
I guess
cost.
cab or Uber or whatever they call them now. There's one called Lyft.
Yeah, it sure is. Keeping up with those names there. That's the big news there out of New York. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about inflation. Now, I don't have the picture. I got it somewhere this morning. Has anybody seen the speech where Biden was giving it and the bird flew over?
No.
And it says, "Is this an omen as to how America feels?" And the bird goes, "Whoop," and drops something right all over his jacket.
Did it?
It did.
Oh.
I've got the video somewhere. I'll have to come across
My
it.
goodness. No, I'm not.
The
I'm
bird
not.
had some thinking of its own.
Not a good thing.
Already 8:28 this morning as you rise and shine and make this day happen here. We do have a lot of inflation going on. Now, I have seen a teeny bit of the gas prices starting to slip just a wee bit. Have you noticed that? Like
Go
3
down
cents.
or
Yeah,
go-
it
yeah.
dropped about
Yeah.
3 cents.
Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. Things are starting to go. I mean, interest rates are rising now on like buying homes or stuff's starting to go up. Interest rates have. I think I read the other day where it's on its way to 5% now, and they're expecting it to go past 5% in the future. So if you're
there's-
thinking about buying a home,
Yeah.
you better get on the ball. if you
Never
wanna keep the interest.
thought about this, but Stephanie Luker says if you're looking for that protection there, Wasp spray. That'll keep somebody away from you. I bet that would.
Yeah. It would.
That stuff will skeet like 8 to 10 feet.
Yeah. Wasp and Hornet spray. I know we had that behind our desk at one time at the shop.
Just in case.
You hit them when they walk in the door if you think,
I have,
if you think that they're a threat.
I have
like with
never
a gun.
heard of that in my life until then.
Yeah.
It's a common thing that I just didn't know about. Huh.
I was joking yesterday at work, and I was like, if somebody, we were talking about somebody, if they had come up in the, I said, I'm going to flat iron them.
You carry off.
Get my curling iron.
She scares me, y'all. Y'all stay close. We've got more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace as this Wednesday morning is well underway.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. It is Wednesday. As we go back in time in history, I had to really look hard for some subjects today. It was very little, for whatever reason, on this April the 13th that anything happened. But let's get into this of what we do know today. Do you remember watching the show Dallas?
I do remember.
I saw the name and I thought, I don't know this person. And I had to.
Right. Remember after Jock died?
Yep.
Miss Ellie's husband, Jock, he died, and then this man came into the
Yeah, I never
picture.
warmed up to him.
I didn't either.
Just-
I was just going to say it was never the same after Jock passed away.
And am I not mistaken? They had to get a new player for Miss Ellie there at the end. Didn't Donna Reed come in and play Miss Ellie at the end?
I think there was a different Miss Ellie, and I didn't.
Something
I
that
didn't like
either
that.
she passed away or she got sick.
Something.
Yeah, it's just you grow accustomed. It's like the time that they tried to replace Bo and Luke with Coy and Vance.
Yeah.
If it ain't fitting, it ain't fitting.
I think Miss Ellie had a stroke or something on Dallas, and then or something.
You know, the only TV show that I've ever seen where they worked a sickness in would have been the Waltons. Do you remember Grandma, after she had her stroke, she couldn't talk, and they still had her role in the TV show. She couldn't
really?
speak, but they still had her on there. And I thought that was sweet that the writers done that.
Yeah.
Denise said that Donna Reed was not good as Miss Ellie, and I thought so. As you go back and look at that, but he just was no Jock.
No. Mm-mm.
It's like if you'd have replaced Cliff Barnes back in the day, he would have never fulfilled that slot. Right. I didn't watch this show a lot. I've seen it once or twice. It was a little bit before my time, but it did have reruns. Who remembers the TV show Get Smart? Don Adams was born in 23 on this day. There's a lot of people that got phones hidden in their shoes, really.
Right.
Well, that was that James Bond feel back in the day of what they had there. But it was a popular show in its time. Do you remember this Que Sera, Sera? Who would I be saying? Who would I be saying? That wasn't proper English, was it?
Who are you indicating?
Doris
that
Day
is?
was born on this date. She was a big star in her time.
She's pretty.
She was a beautiful woman. As you look back on things that happened, she had the Doris Day Show and many other things. We remember this guy. You would see him in a lot of game shows. You would see him on the Love Boat, one of the Carol Burnett show, and then you would also see him in a major role on Wonder Woman. He was the colonel that was with Linda Carter. Do you remember this guy? Lyle Wagner was born on this date back in 1935.
Okay.
And you'll see him in a bunch of the reruns there on MeTV. Cindy says she loved her some Doris Day. Very pretty woman. This guy, I wouldn't have recognized the before and the after of when you're a kid. Now, I didn't. There's a lot of people that loved Leave It to Beaver.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Just a fair show for me. I was never huge involved, but there was a lot of people that loved that show. Remember this guy? This is what he looked like then and then what he looks like now. Born in 45 on this day.
Yeah, I would have, other than the eyes, I would have never known
Now,
that was him.
if he'd done other TV shows, I'm not aware of it.
I wonder if Eddie wasn't it Eddie Haskell that was on there?
Yeah,
his
and
character, the little Eddie.
He just goes around charging people $10 a autograph, I think.
Okay.
That's his claim to fame now.
Okay, I didn't know if he was still living or not.
He is. He does a bunch of that autograph signing and shows up and does speeches as Eddie. It was big. It was big. There was a mother on there. I was trying to remember who the mother was. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name is either, but I liked the show, though. I still like to watch it.
This guy grew up, and then you would later see him. And I used one of the pictures from the Dolly movie, Coat of Many Colors.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Ricky Schroeder? He was born in 1970 on this day. That's him as a kid, and that's him playing the part there later in the Dolly movie there.
He played on Silver Spoon.
I forgot
Wasn't
about
it Silver
that one.
Spoons or something like that? And anyway, he played a good part in this Coat of Many Colors.
He did play that
played
dad.
he played on something. Was it one of the cop shows too? He was pretty good in that. So, good actor.
Ward Sutherland said that Eddie Haskell became a policeman in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Well, learning a few
Are they
things this
also
morning.
is the one that played Beaver? Is
Okay.
he still alive?
Eddie passed away a couple of years ago. Okay, so I was
Okay.
wrong on that. I have to back up on that. I thought he was still 2 years ago, in 2020. See, always informative. Y'all know more than we do on some of these subjects here. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But what a part he played. It was a lifetime impression that he left for that.
Did you read that?
What's that?
Chad Allen said that while getting fuel at Sam's, someone reported automatic gunfire being heard from the Texas turnaround down there at the bottom. It was jackhammers, they said, supposedly, not gunfire.
I can see how that would
Right.
have that sound. Okay, so
That's just like fireworks going off in the city would make me nervous.
it would.
You know, because you don't ever know. But yeah,
And police have to go invest
So-
on it. But that's
so-
good news. So if you're in that area, nothing like that.
Yeah, not gunfire.
Appreciate that
Everything's
message.
Thank you.
Barbara Billingsley was the mother there on Leave It to
Okay.
Beaver. Donna Reed was the mother on some show. It'll come to me later. Somebody knows that. But she was a big star in her day before she made it to Dallas.
safe. Yeah,
The Donna Reed show. That was it? The Donna Reed show, was that it?
I'd have to see a picture
Okay.
of Donna Reed, and I could maybe tell you.
I didn't realize that this TV show made it that long. I watched the early black and white versions, and then when they added the daughter-in-law, I was like, huh? Yeah. Anyway, 1972, the very last episode of My Three Sons aired on this date. I always had those shoes at the bottom. Yeah, there
Yeah.
they are right there.
Now I watched it too.
But, they added a bunch of daughter-in-laws. And what was the
I think you can watch this on MeTV, can't you?
you can. What was the uncle's name that always took care of them there at the house, done all the cooking? It'll come to me later. And they're all agreeing it was the Donna Reed show. The last thing that we have that happened on this date in history, as we go back and look at this, a lot of people love this guy. His music was humongous. 1974, the number one song today was Benny and the Jets. So,
That sound like Porky Pig. singing.
yeah, sing Blue Christmas.
I know.
Father Knows Best with Donna Reed. There you go.
Okay.
And Jessica said something about Buck. I'll have to figure out. What do you mean by Buck there, Jessica? Fill me in. Uncle Charlie was his name. That's right. J.T. Regan
Okay.
got that right there. Of My Three Sons. Uncle Charlie, taking care of things. So there goes it. There's a moment that didn't a lot happen in country music on this date. I dug deep into that yesterday. Spent 45 minutes trying to find something.
Yeah.
A few award shows, but that was about it. Nothing huge. So that kind of fills you in on what happened on this date. Maybe it brought back a smile or two as you remember those shows and things that happened way back when.
I always like reminiscing about the old shows and stuff like that because you don't see stuff like that nowadays. You see crazy stuff.
You know the thing that I always think about when I think of childhood? I used to go to my grandfather's, and they had this sugar bowl that I always thought needed washing. It always looked dirty, and that bugged me as a kid.
Sugar bowl in the kitchen.
Yeah, it was there. It was there. It looked like, boy, that thing needs scrubbing.
You know why?
50 years later, I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because, they get their coffee, stir it,
Yeah.
dip it back in there, drip some coffee.
Because it never moved. It stayed right
Right,
there the
yeah.
entire time.
I think what stuff I remember about playing outside as a kid a lot when I was little and drinking out of the water hose, that metallic taste that you get out of the water hose.
Not like getting just good
Yeah,
chemicals.
I know. Look, we're all still alive. We made
That's right.
it.
It did hurt you a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We used to sleep in the back window of the car back before that seatbelt thing come along.
Oh, yeah.
Now, of course, if somebody slammed on brakes, you'd get thrown.
Yeah, I can remember. The pleather seats. They weren't leather. They were like plastic pleather,
I do know.
And if you armor-rolled them, if you sat on one side, if you turned a curve really fast, you'd go flying across.
That's right.
Yeah, because you didn't have a seatbelt on.
She needs riding an LTD today. Anybody got one of those left? That just says the 70s.
Right.
A 1976 Ford LTD with that big emblem on the end of the hood.
Shag carpet, gold shag carpet.
Don't even get into that furniture.
Avocado green decor.
Those refrigerators were everywhere.
Yeah.
As we turn to talk about Maples, they're there for you when it comes time for that gasoline in your car. They're going to give you the lowest price that is absolutely available today. See them. They got 6 locations around town with breakfast being served now at the Chevron there on St. Paul Street. Looks good. It is great. Scrambled eggs, you can get all that with gravy and biscuits. It really tastes great. Grits. And, of course, they got a great menu. Today being Wednesday, you can pick up on what?
You get fried pork chops, baked chicken, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, broccoli and cheese casserole, turnip or collard greens, cabbage, and your choice of roll or cornbread, along with a sweet tea.
There you go. $8.99 for meat and 2 sides. Check them out. You can order special, whatever you want there. And, of course, they're going to have all the coffee that you can drink. Each store's got the loyalty coffee program, along with cold drinks, snacks, pizza there that you can find in Bonita and Pine Springs. See them. You'll find lottery tickets and ice cream and a whole lot more from Bonita, Pine Springs, Causeyville, all the way to Last Chance Tobacco on 493, the Broadmoor, and 31st Avenue. See them. That's Maples One-Stop Shop. They'll help you find anything that you're looking for. See them today.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
I don't have a high-paying job, but when I got into a serious car accident, I needed money. The surgeries cost more than I make in a year, so I called Richard Schwartz. He got me the money I deserved.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
You a big Mitch McConnell fan?
I don't know. I think he's a little wishy-washy.
He's one of those, whatever side of the fence that he can do on this. This is his statements this week. He insists that it's still possible that Republicans could fall short of winning the takeover of the Senate. Says that there's too many candidates that are bizarre and those that support Trump. He's not a Trump fan. I don't think Trump is a friend of his either.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I think he's going to go for trying to be the head of the Senate once again. Will he win that? I don't know. But I'm not so sure about all that. I think America is at that point of where every poll that you read, and of course polls can be wrong, don't get me, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it almost looks like this is going to be a landslide come November.
Fix my earring.
A few months out. Yeah, I got to fix mine to remind me of that.
Look, it was falling out. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Mitch McConnell. I just think that I don't know that he's trustworthy. I'm just going to put it that way. Yeah.
Well, what happened to that Ryan guy that was the head of all that back when Trump took office? He's been kind of like low key.
Ryan?
The little skinny guy that was named is Ryan. I can't remember his last name. Paul Ryan. That may be it.
Dark-headed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't heard anything out of him. Not even a peep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. Now, have you ever thought about, you've got girlfriends that are looking for husbands. Do you ever give advice on who not to date?
No. But,
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yeah. I haven't, but I've got a couple of friends that always attract, like, crazies.
Like snakes in the head type people?
I mean, yeah, they're just, I don't know.
And I don't have Robbie Jones here with us to back this up. He would be a good one because he's handled a lot of divorces. But as we go to a divorce lawyer, she says there are certain professions that women should marry. Now, this is, again...
Should avoid.
Yeah, you should avoid them instead of date them because it leads to divorce later, she says.
Now, before we go through with this, we have to say this does not speak for everybody.
Right, because somebody got to marry them.
Yeah, and not all of these people who he's going to name are ones to avoid, I guess, is what I'm saying, because there are good people in the world.
Right. But this is what she says, a divorce attorney. She says you should avoid a policeman. You should avoid a surgeon. Don't be marrying somebody like that. There's a lot of ladies that fight you over that. A fireman, a pilot, and anybody that's in the military personnel. She's saying those are the men to avoid when getting hitched.
Now, she sounds a little scorned to me.
I think so.
So I don't say avoid all these people, I guess, because, I mean, there are good people in the world.
She's trying to say.
And these are all pretty much first responder type people, I guess you
they're
could call them.
authoritative.
Right.
They've got to be in their job.
So we appreciate them, for sure.
But she's saying that is not because she could be what you would call maybe someone who doesn't
Bitter.
like to, or take direction. We don't know.
Yeah. She sounds a little bitter, but yeah. Now, I mean, I'm sure everybody could probably name people that are not even any of these people that he spoke of to avoid. But
She says that men have a problem after they're at work all day of transitioning back into the home and listening to their wife when they come home.
Yeah.
Oh boy, she's wanting to run the joints. What's happening here?
I say if they lie, if they're lazy. I mean, I can name off a lot of things to avoid, So.
But that's what, and I don't know that. I don't think
people
it's
in general.
Honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with your profession. I think
don't
it deals
either.
with the person itself.
So, yeah, we were just saying what somebody claimed. This lady claimed that, but like I said, she might be a little bitter. So,
I don't know what is it that men should avoid. That would be a good question.
kind of the same.
Hairdressers?
I mean, anybody. To me, people in general, man, woman, it don't matter. If you lie, if you steal, if you are a con man or a woman, or, if you're untrustworthy or lazy.
Well, you got a list over there, don't you?
Right. I mean, you just, you might want to avoid those people, as far as relationships go.
I think Scott has it there. High maintenance women are the ones to avoid.
Nagging women. There's nagging men too,
Look at her trying to cross enemy lines over there.
Look, there's no gender to a
Nagging.
nagger.
That is a big one there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is aggravating, I'm sure. Yeah, somebody said her husband is a pilot and as good of a husband as husbands come. That's what, I truly,
This
I would
old girl
agree with
got
them.
some bitterness in
Right.
her that wrote this
We
article.
were not saying that about everybody. So
It's just a topic of what they say of the
Right.
divorce courts. Like I said, I don't have Robbie Jones to back me up and tell me what the local area of what that is.
Right.
That gives you something to think on there. But nagging is high on the list there. It's like,
Yeah.
did you fix this? No, I hadn't had time. 10 minutes later, it comes back. Okay, it's been a couple months here since I fixed some things. Okay,
to me, if somebody's not trustworthy, that just blows
She's
it
hung
all
on
out of
this.
the water. I'm saying, you can't trust them. Why would you want to be with them?
I'm thinking hairdressers. You flew right over your head when I said that a while ago. The opponent of Dr. Oz, as we dabble back on this thing of what's going on in the election there, Dr. Oz is running. You've got Trump, who has endorsed him, and the guy that's across the aisle that they say is a conservative that Trump did not endorse still thinks that he's got a chance of winning. Trump's weight pulls a lot in these elections. We'll see what goes down on this. Oz is not the favorite of some. He may pull it off. He's a well-known name, and I think it has a lot to do when he gets into a booth when you don't know either candidate. You'll go, well, I know this guy.
Well, Oprah was a big backer of Oz to get him, I guess, the fame that he has now.
television show.
Pretty much, yeah. And so I would have to wonder if she's still backing him. I don't know.
She used to like Donald. She don't like Donald no more.
Yeah, she had him on there and way years ago, like,
the
and
80s.
he was talking. She was asking, was he going to run for president then?
Yeah.
So
Everybody used to like Donald until he stepped up and became president. Then nobody liked him. We all know that. This could get nasty if this is for real. Have you seen the reports that where Russia may have actually used chemical weapons?
I did see that.
Now, that has not been confirmed. There's been several news sources that have reported it, but it has not been a confirmation. When you've got Joe that made comments that if they were ever used, the United States would retaliate.
Right.
would this be the thing that brings us into chaos?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Joe don't need to be making any kind of statements as to what the United States will or will not do.
I think there's a lot of people that do that. Okay, I gotta laugh at that latest comment there. It said, avoid female lawyers, divorce lawyers.
Oh, goodness.
That would be kind of weird there to marry a divorce attorney.
Yeah, that would be.
Because you'd feel like you're on your P's and Q's all the time.
Yeah.
To write down statements. Just say it.
Yeah.
Oh. And it says, JT said, years ago, Hillary did like Trump. You're absolutely right.
I don't think they ever really thought that he was a threat because he was just wasn't a politician or anything at the time. He was just a
Mark my
businessman.
word, he'll never be president. Y'all have seen that clip. Boom.
Yeah.
Margie says that she believes in your list because it has morals as a foundation of what men should be.
Yeah. Well, I think you should have, that's something you should look for is morals in somebody. I mean, I would think, but anyway, to each his own.
There you go.
That might not be what somebody's looking for. So,
It's always a hookup. There's good people out there no matter what you do for a living there. And it
Right.
is. Just
There
always
is.
keep that in mind. I mean, if I can get her married, look what I had to work with here to get her husband.
Gosh.
Called everybody I knew.
I'm surprised, like the picture you sent him of me standing there in the middle of a conversation going,
I had 8 people not even return when I sent that out. I said, anybody looking for a wife? And it was like,
he did.
Kurt's the
He
only
is-
one that responded.
Look, take it with a grain of salt. He did not send my picture out crazy.
Snowden and Company, if you're looking for a home, maybe you got married. Maybe this is it. Maybe you've been married and you're changing. The winds of time have changed in your life, and, well, things are different. You need a smaller home. Maybe you need a bigger home. You got a bunch of grand youngins living with you now that you didn't expect. You need a bigger house. Well, they can do that. People like Lamar and Diane sold their house with them. Rachel and Alan, well, they bought theirs from them. People choose for a reason. They're good at what they do. Snowden and Company, a trustworthy name when it comes to buying a house. One of the most expensive things you will ever purchase, and you want somebody at the helm of this representing you that knows what they're doing, that'll be honest with you.
Right.
Now, they'll be there through 5 o'clock this afternoon. They'll by appointment only on Saturday and closed on Sunday. No matter the home, the situation that you're looking for, give it to them. They'll let you know when something comes available for you to take a look at. You're welcome to scan it online at snowdenrealestate.com. Take a look. Call them at 453-3937. You can drop into the office, easy to find. Whether you're looking for a mobile home, a double wide, just flat land, maybe you want to open a business, they can do all of that for you. Find them. It's easy to get in touch with. They'll help you out there. She's a real estate expert, negotiating expert as well. That's the way they do it there. And again, they're located on Poplar Springs Drive, their main office. This is their staff. One of the best you'll find right here in the Meridian area. Drop in and visit with them today. Find out again why so many people use them. You'll be glad that you did.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
I'm Rick for Meridian. My life changed forever on my way home from work one Friday night, but I was able to focus on getting healthy because I had Richard Schwartz fighting for me every day. He got me the money I needed to get my life back on track.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
Well, and we're back. As we look over a thing of things that are still going on across the night, do you remember the guy from South Dakota that had an accident? He called the police when it happened and said, hey, I think I hit a deer, and he went on about his way.
Yes.
And it ended up being a person.
Right.
He has been impeached. Now, he'll have a chance to, over this situation. Happened 2 years ago. A lot of them are claiming that he was on his phone when he done it, and it was the reason that he hit the man. He says it didn't happen. They're going to launch an investigation. He has on paper been impeached. That doesn't mean he's out of a job.
Right.
We'll watch that closely as we see headlines. I didn't expect that after this long, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Why didn't they do that sooner is my question on that.
That would be horrible, though. Think you've hit a deer and
Right. A Let's see here. Still, as we look across the chemical weapons thing, people, let's see, Louisiana. We've had a Louisiana lawmaker step down because of federal probe into a 20-year gambling addiction. Former Democratic Party chair has been cited with depressions of reason for resignation. She's stepped down. 20 years have been in office since around 2000. And I guess gambling is you don't need to be a leader if you're a gambler.
No. You might be tempted to take money.
Money is just too hard to come by to go lose it all.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I've been to a casino several times, I guess, in the past. But I take like $20 or $30, and when that's gone,
that's your limit. That's your little fun money.
That's it. I'm not going to sit there and lose.
It's just like, the old thing of playing dice in the hall. There's some people that get addicted to that.
Yeah.
And I worked with a gentleman that would bet on anything. I promise you, it'd be like, which bird's going to fly off the line there? He couldn't help it.
Right.
He was very lucky. There's some people that, is it coincidence or what? But they do have that trait of luck. If they touch it,
I'm just not.
They win it.
I'm not lucky in that. Even the little scratch off things.
Yeah.
A girl I work with, she hit like $100 3 days in a row. No lie.
Really?
Yes, she did. So I go get me some scratch offs, the same kind. Nothing. And so
never. So you just got to back off.
I think I won $2 one time. That may be paid for another ticket or something that I got.
$2.
A little scratch off ticket.
Yeah.
But the scratch offs are fun.
I can't remember a time that I've won anything. Any raffle that I've ever bought into. I don't think I've ever won that. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Something to think on there.
So I'm not a lucky person in those instances. So.
Eddie White made a comment. He goes, "Why would you call the police if you hit a deer? Are you trying to cover up something? Middle of the night, no one's around. If your car still runs, most people would have kept on driving, went on home, and not thought anything about it."
Yeah, I can't remember what the whole story was about that.
Oh, boy. Do you remember the surgeon that were reported that was 26 years old earlier in the week? Maybe it was the end of last week that they found on a hiking trail dead. The investigation
it was a lady, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She fell into a sinkhole is what ended up killing her.
Oh, my goodness.
What are the odds?
A sinkhole?
Yeah. It collapsed. The ground gave way, and she perished
goodness.
with that. That's boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's one of the headlines from across America there. You ever wondered what a $88 million home looks like? We've got a plastic surgeon having to sell it out in California. He went too big, as they say. Here's a look at the house. That's $88 million.
Goodness.
That's kind of relatively small for Mississippi, I would say.
Yeah.
But that is the house there. It's up for sale. I think the bank has got it. He said he dreamed too big is his statement on that.
Yeah. $88 million. I mean, I don't understand.
Here's a look at the out in between the walls. Here, look at that.
I guess people don't think ahead on a lot of things. Just because you have a whole lot of money and, I'm going to spend $88 million.
Yeah.
Might not have a job tomorrow.
We see all of that.
Let's live in the day,
That big moment that these football stars get signed and they go buy the $50 million house and all the cars, and then just a couple of years later, it's kind of like the movie The Jerk, where he had to move back home.
Yeah. Yeah. What if you get injured and you can't play anymore?
Yeah. It's called savings, but this guy lost it there. Plastic surgery apparently pays a lot.
Yeah.
They're saying now, we got enough time for this last story. I've just been a sugar kind of guy, but there's a lot of people that use the low calorie, the artificial sweeteners out there. They're saying that these things may not be good for your liver.
Yeah, I would imagine not. Like the aspartame that's in a lot of the different diet drinks, and even these flavored packets that you put in water. A lot of times they'll have stuff additives in them that I don't think would be good for you, but
just something to ponder on there. And we had several, Jessica and also Scott mentioned that. Can you imagine what taxes on $88 million home would be?
Oh my goodness, no.
I got a friend that lives in Houston. Bought a new home, and he got his bill the other day. It was $12,000 a year.
I just want to live comfortable.
Yeah. I'm just happy being me nowadays.
Right, yeah.
We can't say thank you enough for joining us. We're going to be back in the morning, right, Candace?
That's right, 8 a.m. sharp.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: